Joining us now is OjyOkpe, which story is trending around the world. Hello, Jinx.
That is not my name. That is not my name.
Is it the pronunciation that is not correct?
Yes.
Oh yeah, what is the correct pronunciation?
Everything is wrong. I'm afraid to tell you because I feel like you're going to use it.
Are you not Onyejinika?
No, my full name is Onyejinika. It means the person that has is the one that holds the most.
Onyejinika.
That's it. And today is the last day you will use it.
No,
Ayo, help me out here.
You I'm sorry. You teach me.
Help me out here.
I actually love the sound of it, and Dr. Basi has stepped up the introduction. The famous introduction has gone up a notch.
No. Oh, yesterday I saw a baby loving your introduction. It was beautiful to see. Rufai, how are you?
Very well.
Perfect. Talking about babies, our senior social media producer, Bolaji Animashao, had a baby. Look at that. Yay! Congratulations to her. A bouncing baby boy in America. And you know, it's such a great day today. Former President Barack Obama's birthday. It is today as well. He is 62. As well as our former suspended CBN governor, Godwin Emefiele. He's celebrating his 62nd birthday in detention despite court orders. What can we say? Happy birthday to all of you. A happy, happy birthday. Well, all right. Good morning to you, viewers. Here are some of the stories that are trending across the globe. In the United States, President Joe Biden on Thursday called for the immediate release of Nigerian President Mohamed Bazoum in a written statement commemorating Niger's Independence Day, stating that the U.S. stands with the people of Niger as the country faces a grave challenge to its democracy. It is the first time Biden has commented on the situation in the country since the military ousted Bazoum. Then, former President Donald Trump pled not guilty on Thursday to charges of orchestrating a plot to overturn his 2020 election loss in what U.S. prosecutors call an unprecedented effort by the then president to undermine the pillars of American democracy. It is the third time Trump has pled not guilty since April, with months of pre-trial legal wrangling expected against the backdrop of the 2024 presidential campaign.
This is the persecution of the person that's leading by very, very substantial numbers in the Republican primary and leading Biden by a lot. So if you can't beat him, you persecute him or you prosecute him. We can't let this happen in America.
In Nigeria, First Lady Senator Oluremi Tinubu on Thursday paid a courtesy visit to former President Muhammadu Buhari at his residence in Daura, Katsina State. The First Lady, who was accompanied by the wife of the Vice President, Hajia Nana Shetima, said the visit was to check on the former president and to thank him for his fatherly support. Buhari commended the women, stating that the visit was remarkable.
She came to see how I am settling down, and I am settling down very well. Thank you very much.
Under sports, Nigeria's women's basketball team, the Tigress, on Thursday qualified for the final of the ongoing 2023 FIBA Women's Afrobasket in Kigali, Rwanda. The Nigerian team defeated Rwanda, the tournament's host, 79-48 in the semi-finals to achieve the feat for the fourth consecutive time. The D Tigress will face the winners of the other semi-final game between Mali and Senegal in the final, billed for Saturday, August 5th.
Oh boy, Taiwo is just...
I'm unavailable. They know they see me. I'm unavailable.
Finally, under entertainment, Afrobeat star Davido's latest album, Timeless, has surpassed 1 billion streams across streaming platforms Spotify, Apple Music, AudioMac, YouTube, and Boomplay. The album gained global attention since its release, with the dance choreography of its hit single, Unavailable, featuring Musa Keys, attracting millions of fans, domestic and international, including multiple award-winning R&B star Chris Brown. The 17-track album features guest appearances from The Cavemen, Angelique Kidjo, Afrobeat star Ashake, and Nigerian-British rapper Skepta, among others.
I'm unavailable. They know they see me. I'm on.
Congratulations, Davido. Well, let's begin what's trending with reactions trailing President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's first appearance at the National Executive Council meeting of the All Progressives Congress since his inauguration as president, where he adjudged the election that brought him into power as the most credible ever in the history of Nigeria, stating that those who cannot accept the result of a free and fair election do not deserve the joy of victory.
Those who cannot accept the result of a free and fair election they do not deserve the joy of victory.
Well, obviously, we all know that this is a controversial statement. Let me take some comments. This is from Chibuzo, who wrote, Yaradua was so sincere that the election that brought him in was flawed, and he was respected for that. He didn't come to insult Nigerians by telling us, after all, the opposition won many states and also seats in the National Assembly. Well, another Twitter user there goes, none has been free and fair since 1999, but none has been closely watched and observed either, like the just concluded one. It wasn't business as usual. If it was, everyone would have moved on already, as it used to be. INEC should prove how Tinubu won, so we can move on. It's simple. I'm sure you guys have discussed this at length. The president, while speaking about the affairs of the party, which has produced the former governor of Kano State, Abdullahi Ganduje, as its party chairman, said the party has a responsibility to promote unity, stability, and love among members. He also acknowledged that although Nigeria is going through challenges, which he has sufficiently addressed in his broadcast, his administration is ready to re-engineer the country's economy, adding that policies that have been put in place are for the people and not to punish the people.
I brought before you the renewed hope to fulfill your dreams and the dreams of our founding fathers, to be sure that Nigeria remains the focal point of our foreign and domestic policy.
Renewed hope. A lot of people are still waiting for the renewed hope. But I mean, the controversial thing that occurred in that event was the nomination or the declaration or the announcement of Abdullahi Ganduje as its party, as the APC party chairman. Let me take Fisaya Shwombo's tweet, who wrote, from being filmed hastily stashing $230,000 under his Babariga in 2018, Abdullahi Ganduje has now emerged the national chairman of Nigeria's ruling party. Elsewhere, he would be rotting in jail today. But Nigeria being Nigeria, the reward for corruption is public office. This is a stern tweet, unfortunately, Rufai. That is the rhetoric on social media. A lot of people have talked about the fact that, you know, Ganduje, I mean, we all have talked about it. It could have been somebody else.
Yes, concerning the Ganduje, wait for the courts. The court has not found him guilty. Yes, there's a video evidence, but the court has not found him guilty.
Yes.
So it's incumbent on those that are going to charge him. If they're going to charge him, they should charge him. Secondly, as regards what President Tinubu said, yes, he will say his election was clean, was the best ever, and all of that. But there are also other opinions about the election. Most of the Western media in the first week after the election said the elections were flawed. I think the Financial Times reported Nigeria's flawed elections. And we can't deny the fact. The BBC also reported how some of the press was flawed. The BBC did an extensive report even about the OjyOkpe results in Rivers. Also, EU reports also said a lot about our elections. So that's another point of view. And I get that tweet. That tweet was Umar Musa Yar'Adua's reaction to his own election in 2007.
Yes.
And he said he believes the elections that brought him are flawed with irregularities. And he took decisions how we got the Ways panel report. That's a man of dignity. That's a man of strength. and give him his tribute. But President Bola Tinubu saying, oh, my elections were clean and clear. The case is still in court.
Yeah, that's why it's in court.
And the court will decide.
Absolutely.
And whatever the court will decide, we'll take on that.
All right.
Supporting some of his policies, saying that, yeah, he wants his policies to, make things better for us. The truth is, the jury is also out on that. Another great example is the announcement he made, which he has finally come out to confirm that he didn't plan. In fact, his aides told him to not announce subsidy removal yet, but he said it's gone himself. Also, his forex policy that you did not get something to defend the Naira before you decided on a managed float, which is a mixture of a fixed peg and a pure float.
Absolutely.
Which you need something to defend your currency because we are a highly dollarized economy.
Right.
So a lot of people have seen that and have said, you put out some policies, but did we also think it through? Did we also look at the repercussions? Because now it's biting hard on people and all of that.
You're absolutely right.
So there are many sides to the story.
Talking about policies, I mean, we have seen that even Labour is threatening another strike because this policy has been hard on Nigerians. But we're still waiting for the federal government to come out with their palliatives. In the meantime, in Ogun State, residents trooped out in their numbers in celebration of the state government's decision to distribute free electric motorbikes to residents in the state in a bid to cushion the effects of the subsidy removal. While in a heartwarming gesture aimed at giving back to society, fast food chain Chicken Republic has initiated a campaign to offer free meals to community on Thursday. A massive crowd gathered at the Bode Thomas Surulere food spot, eager to claim their share.
Chicken Republic! Come outside, let's go. Come outside,
Well, while in Lagos State, the executive chairman of Ojodu Local Council Development Area, Honorable Olusegun Odumbaku, in celebration of 2 years in office, organized a food fair with the sale of highly subsidized food items to residents in the area. The food items were sold at the rate of 1,000 naira each.
Everything is 1,000. This is gari. This is plantain. These are eggs. Everything goes for 1,000. Everything is going for 1,000. This one is
Well, I commend the private sector. Chicken Republic did a great job, and we see here the food. And we did praise this local council chair just a week ago for delivering free buses, and we saw yam rice there that would go up to like 30,000 naira. He gave it out for 1,000 naira. Amazing. And we need to encourage more actions like this. Dr. Abati, really quickly.
Oh, okay. First, let me start with the Ojodu local government.
Yes.
Honorable Odumbaku, celebrating 2 years in office. As you said last week, you brought a story whereby he provided vehicles,
free buses, yes,
tricycles, buses to assist people with transportation. And the message then was that, look, we hope that other local governments will follow that example, because this whole idea of giving palliatives out is not just for one local government, it's your federal government or state government alone. It should be something that should be collective. After all, at the FAC allocation in June, all these, tiers of government got more money than they had ever expected. So congratulations to Honorable Odumbaku on his second year anniversary. And I think that his example should be emulated and that the people who went to that food fair, collecting items for 1,000 naira, that they will understand the spirit behind it. Not that they will now go and sell it at a higher price.
That's a good point.
To other people, because our people, And then the other thing is, for how long can people sustain this? Chicken Republic also did well, by making food available to people. That's act of generosity. But all of these things, all of these measures are not really quite sustainable. What is important is for government to come up with sustainable policies that will address the hardship, what President Tinubu calls childbirth pain. When women go to the maternity ward, they have childbirth pain. Within a month after, they have recovered. In fact, if you see some women, after 3 months, they are already on another journey to the maternity ward. But these are how it should not become a permanent childbirth pain. In Ogun State, we have seen the example of Governor Abiodun now introducing electric motorcycles.
Yes.
Well, that's eco-friendly, and in the light of this talk about, CNG and all of that, it's a good gesture on the part of the state government. This is the second time he's rolling out these palliatives. Earlier on, he had said he had introduced a number of measures, including paying hazard allowance to medical workers, taking care of gratuities, paying civil servants 10,000 naira for a period of 5 months, making peculiar allowance available and all. And this is the governor there, riding that bike. Thank God some people made it to the top. Some people will have been very good Okada riders because the way he was gripping that motorcycle with style. But the whole idea is about sustainability. And very briefly, to go back to the statement made by President Tinubu at the neck of APC, saying the most credible election ever in the history of Nigeria. Well, he's not in a position to say that. That's political talk. The matter is now before the tribunal.
That's why it's in court.
It's before the court. The court will determine. Or if it was the most credible, why is the Labour Party in court? Why is PDP in court? And the legal rule is nemo judes in causa sua. He has to be reminded of that. Nemo judes in causa sua says no man should be a judge in his own case.
Well said, Dr. Abati. Well, in another development, the president's second ministerial list that was screened by the Senate continues to generate reactions. Ministerial nominee from Katsina State, Hannatu Musamwa, the second female among the 19 additional names approved by the president, generated controversy during her screening when she revealed in an emotional speech that she came from a poor family and that her father, who was a politician, traded kola nut to sponsor her education before he died.
My journey thus far begins and ends with 2 stories of 2 African boys. The first is the tale of a little black boy born in the rural setting of Bichi in Kano State into a humble family that struggled to make ends meet. By accident of birth, he started off selling kola nut on the streets just to make ends meet. That man's name was Alhaji Musa Musawa, and he was my father. He passed on exactly 147 days ago, approximately 3,551 hours ago. As I stand here today, I do so in fulfillment of his journey, of his legacy, and of his effort. My greatest regret is that he is not alive to see his third-born daughter being screened as a ministerial nominee of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
What we expect from you is just verbal summary of yourself. My name is this, that, not an address to the United Nations. So
she was so graceful and she laughed. This screening upset me, Ayo. I was very, very upset. I mean, first, my mother just passed too. But I mean, why couldn't they let her finish her statement? And then there was so much noise. Did you watch the screening? No. So the disrespect for women, I could not believe it. This upset me, really.
I can understand that. I mean, to be honest, say what you may, politicians, because of this distrust with regards to politicians, she was just active. Her father died earlier this year, and even when he passed, she had paid a tribute, and you would know that they had quite a close relationship. Yes. It would have been a proud moment for her to have had her dad witness the fact that she was becoming, or hopefully would become, a minister in the Federal Republic of Nigeria, despite the stories. I think the same respect and honor that had been accorded to previous nominees ought to have been accorded to her. We have to respect people, whether we believe them or not. I thought it was insensitive, with all due respect to the President of the Senate, and they ought to have allowed her finish. She said she wasn't addressing the United Nations. I don't know if she planned to break into tears. I don't think she did, but I think it should have.
Her speech is her speech. She wanted to land. They would have. I mean, she's an artist too. You should see her. I really love her. But I mean, it was just.
I'm glad she was able to pay tribute to her father.
Me too. I'm glad. But you know that this whole thing has caused a lot of reactions on social media. There was this story of Festus Keyamo. I don't know if you saw that, and Fani Kayode. I don't know if we have that tweet. If we can pull up that tweet, people were trolling both of them on social media for not making the ministerial list. Also in Kogi State, if we can pull that, where a senator representing Kogi is Issa Jibrin, in a video now making the rounds on social media, was seen kneeling to thank the governor of the state, Yahaya Bello, for nominating Shuaibu Abubakar Adu, son of the late Abubakar Adu, for ministerial position. The governor said the nomination of Abubakar Adu was a reward for his late father's sacrifice.
All the sacrifices.
You are rewarding us.
I'm rewarding Prince Abubakar Audu for all the sacrifices too. So I don't lose. I gain plenty.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Thank you, Your Excellency.
To God be the glory. Congratulations.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Now, wow.
Ayo, you just hit the nail on the head. He says it fits into today's Guardian. He says Nigeria's political dynasties wax stronger as poverty deepens. But I mean, this is what happens. You are not picked as a minister based on your credentials. You are picked based on recommendation. Really quickly, Rufai, before we land.
So those are part of the problems with Nigeria. It is not about who's big man's child that they will put there. What of we that we don't have big fathers? We can go and die, right? As long as we don't have big fathers that have big names, we can go and die. So in this country, it must be about your father, not about the competence. So it just goes around to show what we represent in this country. I just pray for Nigeria every day.
Absolutely. I wish we had more time on what's trending today. Well, I'd like to thank you all for your great analysis on what's trending today. Well, that's all I have for you on what's trending today. I'll see you all tomorrow.